A lot of Protestants come into the church, sometimes despite Catholic witness. What's the importance of Catholics being good ambassadors for the Catholic faith to their brothers and sisters? Not only Protestants, just to the population in general for the new evangelization.
I think that it's a matter of authenticity. People are going to follow Jesus when they know that he's authentic. He's really the Son of God. He really lived the way he said. He walked the walk and he talked the talk. And if Catholics come along and say, we want you to join us, but they're just out boozing all the time and sleeping around and living a sinful life, then people are going to say you're a hypocrite. You're not authentic. People like authenticity. There's a certain element of us that we can detect deception and we can detect fake hypocrisy and so on. We hate it. And people like authentic. People will come to the Catholic Church, I think, a great deal when they see Catholics authentically living the Catholic moral life.
Excellent. Now, for many of us who were evangelical Protestants and have come into the church, what are some of the special gifts that evangelicals can give to the new evangelization in the Catholic Church?
I think that Catholics have, to a great degree, neglected personal Bible study. Protestants tend to study the Bible, but then again, that's all they have. They have the Bible alone, so what are you going to do? Well, you better study the Bible. We have the same thing. Catholics have the Bible. It's our book, actually. It came from the Catholic Church. It's our family heirloom. But Protestants have made a big science of studying the Bible, a big practice of studying, having Bible studies and things, daily Bible study and prayer on their own. Catholics have tended not to do that. And I think that when evangelicals come into the church, and you can see it in the last 10, 15 years, there's all of a sudden this new excitement or enthusiasm for studying the Bible. And I think a lot of it has to do with converts coming in. I think also, I'll use the example that my father, when he was sick, thought he was dying, and asked God to reveal himself to him. And the next day a man came up to my dad and said, Charlie, you need Jesus Christ in your life. And I would ask you, do you think it was a Catholic who came up to my dad and said that?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, no. And most audiences laugh when I ask that question. I say, why did you laugh? Because Catholics tend to think that faith is something that's personal. It's private. It's not something you talk about. But the Protestants know differently. The Protestants know that when you become a Christian, you are obligated to tell the world about it. So when people come into the Catholic Church from evangelical, they can bring that evangelization, that passion to tell about Jesus. I think there's also a real authentic, among Protestants, there's a real desire to give up sin and to live a holy life. Not all of them, but a lot of those converts into evangelicalism have this attitude, and they can bring that also into the Catholic Church. Now, just a simple one on prayer. That's the last one I'll bring up. But Catholics tend to recite memorized prayers. They can't pray unless they go to a book or a prayer card, and then they read the prayers. Evangelicals can just burst into prayer at a moment's notice. Jim, let's just bring that to the Lord in prayer, you know. And I think there's a good thing about that. There's a good element that I don't like it when I was just an evangelical and we only prayed from the shallow puddle of our own existence, and we could never use a recited prayer. But the Catholics, I think we should move away from just having recited prayers to the point where we can actually pray and have just spontaneously talk to the Lord. It's the best of all. So I think that the evangelicals can bring things into the Catholic Church that are very helpful for Catholics to learn. But then the Protestants coming in are getting a whole boatload of riches too.
Oh yes, amen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Good.